Excuse me all, may I have your attention please? Well, as you may have idea that this is Sumit Kushwaha with you from Speak Well, and here we are gathering here for having our discussion. So with your kind permission, could I initiate this JD? Well, as you may have already know that the topic which has been given us by our dynamic and energetic sir is that which language should be official language of our country, Hindi or English. So from the corner of my heart, I firmly believe that Hindi should be official language of our country. And why I think like this, let me tell. Well, as you know that if I talk about Hindi's bright side, then there are many bright sides of Hindi language. That you know that in India, 44% of people speak Hindi language, and 10% of people speak English language, and rest of people speak Marathi, Malayalam, Haryanvi, and their regional language. But you know that here we see that maximum people speak Hindi language. That if we have already means if the majority of people already speak Hindi language, then absolutely we need to promote our Hindi language, our national language as a means Hindi language as a official language. And if I talk about major reason of I can say the major reason of saying Hindi as official language, then that means through Hindi we can convince anyone through so easily. Also that means we don't need to learn Hindi. That means already we have atmosphere to speak Hindi language. Every people speak Hindi language, so we don't need to spend money. But if I talk about English language, then we need to spend money, we need to spend time to learning English language. And if there is no chance of that, everybody will get learn to how to speak English. It is also major problem, and it will affect the people who don't know. It means if we will implement English language as official, then it will affect the peoples of India, like as in a village, also in a cities. That means, as I said, only 10% people use English language. Then also the rest of people will get affected by this very implementation. So I think that Hindi language must be official language of our country. And now I invite all of you to participate in this JD and make this JD more and more successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. for inviting us in join this GD. As you said in your argumentation, Hindi should be our official language of our country, and many 10% people is speaking Hindi in understanding. But from my point of view, as you argumentation in your argument, I am totally disagree with you. I am disagree with you. I like explaining. There are in many people both government and private work done in English, and they are students who are MA, double MA, but they cannot speak English. Without English speaking, your education is incomplete. Yeah. And you, as you see in this many country, and as India, this is Delhi, and of our office, and you only speaking boss and any career, they are only speaking English, and your work is done in English language. In the matter of office, you only speak your office in English, and you come in and go to school, then office, then firstly you speaking English. They may come in and may go not speaking Hindi, and there you said in Japan in English, and China is means speaking in Chinese. Then you speaking China's in English, then you little bit understand in English, and you speaking Hindi, they're not understanding Hindi. That's why I can say like that English should be most official language of our country.
Well, Miss Kushiji, as means there's no matter that if we have to complete our education, then we did English language. That means that we cannot say that by education. That also you mentioned that there are many people who have MA and double MA, but if they don't, it means they are not speaking English, so their education is incomplete. But you know that means there is no any chance of that. Through this reason, we can say that English should be official language. As that means there is a matter of that how much people used to speak Hindi language or English language. As I mentioned already, that only 10% people used to speak English language. So if rest of if it will be implemented as a official language of our country, then absolutely it will affect the 90% of people. Where they will go if they will not understand English language, then what will they do? How they will talk? How will they convince?
You know, Mr. As you said, 10% people is speaking Hindi, but I'm totally disagree with it, because in many performance and many in this school and many performance and announcement in only English. Then you say that 10% people is speaking English.
This is happening. That means I know that performance or any function is conducted in English language, but only means they use English language to conducting any functions, but they use Hindi language as their daily life routine. But if means the language we use in our daily life, absolutely we should say that language should be official language.
But you
So may I know? As you said in our argument about Hindi should be official language of our country, I am totally disagree with you. because as you know, Mr. I mean, in this time, any do work and any work hard is done in English language, because English is an international language and English is a easy language. And as you see, I mean, interview always speak English language. And as you see, I mean, court and bank is right in English language. And as you know, Mr. I mean, in this time, lots of private school is available who can write in English language. And I mean, as you see, and in this time, you go to any corner of India, then you don't know how to speak English language. Then you don't, or just any corner of India. And you speak English language, then you are just any corner of India. So how can you say, Mr. Hindi should be official language of our country?
Excuse me, Ajani. English should be official language of our country. I totally disagree with you. Hindi should be, from my point of view, Hindi should be official language of our country. You can go to any outside country, any people speak Hindi language. Any people go to outside country, reason a job. This means that Hindi is spoken outside country. Any people meet any job. You can go to any office, any speak English. Any people only speak English language, don't speak English language. But sometimes any people speak English language. But you go to any house, yeah, you go to any shopkeeper, yeah, you go to any market, only speak Hindi language, don't speak English language.
But excuse me, Mr. But you go to town in any means Mumbai, Delhi, and go to any town means you are only speaking Hindi, speaking English. As you said in your information, in speaking Hindi, that I am totally disagree, because I am see in Delhi and Mumbai and many more town, they are only speaking English language. And as you said, in Hindi language should be official language. I am totally disagree with you.
But we make the example of country, Russia, China, Western country, they always know in
But you speak,
national.
excuse me, Mr. But you speak English a little bit understand in China, Japan.
Maximum people is no educated. How can you speak Hindi language? Any people go to any shopkeeper has no education. He only speak Hindi language. How can you buy anything?
But he understand a little bit, and you go anywhere, then they are not education. They are not speaking Hindi. They are only speaking Bhojpuri. And you said Hindi should be official language. That I am not.
But you know, Miss Khushi ji, but nowadays everybody.
Time is up now. Mr. Puneet, you are going to summarize it.
So, well, friend, a very good thing to come to in something about the GD. We have to summarize the GD. With your kind permission, summarize the GD.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate, for allowing me to summarize the GD. You know that some of our friends like us, Mr. Khushi is saying that English should be official language of the country, because you go to any corner of India, then you are just, if you speak English language, then you are just, and some of our friends like us, Mr. Sumiti, is said that Hindi should be official language of the country, because if you speak English language, then any people understand, and if you speak Hindi language, then in this time any job and services get Hindi language. So thanks guys for lots of comes and concepts and make this video more and more successful. Thank you.